currently I live in a woongroup and a community project with workspaces, living spaces and public functions. But it's a smaller scale of 11 people and a building that we renovated ourselves. And since we finished it, we were wondering like what's next? How do we continue this effort and make this even bigger? And when we saw a tender possibility application for the Gemeente, we said, yes, let's go for it. It's 5 times bigger to be built from scratch. And we said, this is the next step where we can transfer the learnings we have into a bigger, more ambitious project. Also, most importantly, like I benefited from years and years of bureaucratic, financial and all sorts of work that people have put into the project I currently live in, and I joined quite late. So the only way I can reproduce the commons is to pay it forward by creating another location and other possibilities for other people, even though I may not benefit from it myself directly. Actually, we started with a provocation almost, saying we want to build a post-capitalist commune in Amsterdam Oost. And that was quite a good trigger for people to get interested and get involved. And our imaginations were wild to combine different aspects that we ultimately synthesized in a few principles. That it is going to be a project based on commons, based on care, based on sharing and diversity. So now we are at the phase of trying to figure out how do we implement those in a more practical way in everyday life and in the decisions that we need to take at this moment in the project that will last for its lifetime.
Are we now at the place where it's going to happen?
Yes, actually at the edge of it. It will be starting here and it will roughly be here. The core team has been about a dozen people, which occupy different roles. This is people that are committed to the city's cultural and political life in multiple ways. They are community workers, researchers, activists, organizers and artists. So we got together in this, and we're still in the process of launching the admissions. So actually the real members of Nieuwe Meent will be joining in the coming months, and we have all these community building workshops running currently. I'm studying post-capitalist design practices that show instances of commoning. So the practices of commoning have been in my life as a theoretical object of study for all these years, and I've been also meaning to develop practices where I am myself a commoner, and living environments are the best way to connect multiple ways of commoning practices in one place. It's the train station science park, so behind it it's the campus. On the other side you have lots of sports facilities, and behind us just our nearest neighbors in these social housing blocks that we have been also inviting to barbecues we organized here on the spot so that we get to know our future neighbors. We roughly met every Sunday to develop different aspects of the project, to prepare the tender application, and to get to know each other and build a community. There are a few reasons for why Nieuwe Meent should be a pioneering project and a blueprint for future cooperatives. First, because it is proposed as a pilot by the municipality to develop more. So the learnings acquired here will be very influential in how the policies will be shaped, how the funding instruments will be created. So we do feel like a guinea pig in this phase. And we also would like to set the tone for these future woon cooperative because if those values get transferred, if those learnings get transferred, it will be much more accessible for much diverse set of people. We feel both in our daily lives and in the political life of the city how the city is becoming unreachable for ordinary people and ordinary budgets. This is why right from the start we have decided that half of the Nieuwe Meent will be social housing and the other half will be woongroupen, shared units. So actually we extend the capacity of affordable housing to the entire building and not just a section of it. By doing so, we also want to show that individual independent units are not the only way of living. There is lots of both affordability and luxury to be gained by sharing more facilities and spaces. It's going to be a wooden. Absolutely. This is where we want to also experiment with forms for communal living for 21st century, right? We are looking backwards to also learn from mistakes, maybe. One difference that strikes me is that we are not in a rural project. We are very deeply rooted in the community and the city where we are based. And the configuration, the legal structure around it, which is neither informal squat nor just a equity-based cooperative. This building will be taken out from the market forever, and we will be its renters and its occupants, but we won't be able to claim a share of it to be able to benefit financially. On the contrary, the value that is generated here will be getting back to the community and will enrich all our lives and the future generations. Basically, the way the building is financed and the right to access to it as housing are completely separate processes. We are not expecting people to be able to buy or show that they can afford to buy this place. We are trying to raise the finances by its mission, its political and social mission, where the money is, whereas the spaces will be allocated to people who have the needs. And rarely in our city, in our society, the needs and the available finances meet in the same people. So we have to go look for it in different places. Yeah, so you mentioned the 7 floors. Imagine the main entrance to a courtyard from here. The courtyard will be the access to the tower, where the ground floor is the communal lobby. This is where the children will be playing, the meetings will take place, the communal dinners will take place. Around the courtyard we have all the social housing independent units. Some of them will be duplex, double floor, with high ceiling spaces that are also very inviting and interacting with the courtyard. And on top of the communal lobby, imagine 5 floors of living group. Each floor occupied by a 5-6 people living group with different characteristics, with different daily life and modalities that they will come up with. But they will be both, so you can be both part of a living group and a bigger community and a bigger neighborhood all at once. And we also want to make the non-housing function, which occupies the most accessible front part, to be occupied by innovative democratic workplaces, because we can always have all the cooperative housing we want, but we want to also show the way by showing, lead the way by showing economic forms, democratic economic forms where the neighborhood can benefit, the workers can benefit, and the community here will be also part of. But also I have to mention the architects. We have such an original and special relation with the architects that we have. Instead of creating just photoshops of very desirable building, they have been involved in our community, working with us in their free time all these years. So it's a bottom-up architecture practice that makes these both beautiful and sustainable building and the community possible. You know what they say about the best time to plant a tree? It's 20 years earlier. The second best time to plant a tree is today. So it goes the same for starting housing cooperatives as well. The best time would have been decades ago, but it is never too late, and the seeds we will plant today will blossom and transform the shape of the city in the next decades.